Hey guys, Bruce here, Tough Dogs Place. You might have saw yesterday I was mentioning a new project I was thinking about getting into. Well, I went back over there and talked to the man and, well, I ended up with this for a little song and dance. This is see if I can zoom in on it. I hope you can see it because in the camera, of course, I can't. Sportsman Series. Coyote Sport by USA Industries. Powered by a 8 horsepower Tecumseh with a torque converter. The man said he got it from his boss for a 4-wheeler, got it for his kids, and they either fought over it or didn't ride it. When I picked it up, he told me it didn't have anything wrong with it that he knew of. Well, for starters, the brakes were non-existent. There's a little hub for the brake disc way down in there. Let me see if I can point that out. I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at. It's way down in there. Here's a different view. Maybe you can see. Anyway, it was so far out of adjustment that you could stand on the brakes and it wouldn't even touch the rotor. So I adjusted those. This tire had air in it. This one was supposed to have 10 pounds. It had less than 4. These front ones were supposed to have up to 20, and they both had less than 4. So of course I aired them up. And the alignment was so far out of whack that it was just squirrely. It all get out. I measured the tires from the front, from one center of one to the center of the other, and then the same thing on the back of the front tires. There was like 1.5 inch difference. So I measured from the center of the frame right here out to the center of the tire on both sides, and started by getting equal measurements from the center of the frame to the center of the tire on both front and back sides, and then on the other side the same thing. And then once I had those dialed in, I came back with it all put together and measured from the front of the right to the front of the left, and the same thing on the back side, and got it zeroed in to where now they're 34 inches apart, front and back, which is like dead zero in an alignment world. However, I've noticed, I just drove it, this little angle piece right here, I don't know if you can see this piece right here I'm talking about, part of the front end deal. There's a little bit of an angle there, right? Well, this one is dead straight with the tire. And I think this one's actually bent. So when I turn right, it will actually turn right. You know, in a reasonable radius. When I turn left, I can't make a full left turn in the street without going up in someone's yard. I'm just not getting enough pitch when I go like that. That's as far as it will let me go. However, when I go the other way, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. Okay, you see the angle there? That's all the way to the right. And that's all the way to the left. It's just not as severe. So that's something I got to play with. What else did I do to it? Of course, I zip tied all the cables and wires up to the frame where they should be. I took the seat off and made these little, I don't know if you can see down in there where I'm trying to show you. those little bitty spacers, so 3/4 of an inch, just to raise the front of the seat up. So it's got a little bit of a lean back to it. It was straight up and down, and I just was uncomfortable as all could be in that thing, like that. And it's small anyway. I mean, there's no leg room for me at all to begin with. So, what else did we do? We had, let me show you this stuff. These two things were, when I brought it home yesterday, like this. I hope you can see what I'm trying to show you. I can't see anything in the camera. I think you get the idea. There's extensions for the short kids, but all that did was made enough leverage that you could bend these. You can see how this is bent. I think you can see. I hope you can see what I'm pointing at. See how it's bent right here, as opposed to this side. It's because it had all this extra leverage on it, and it just. Anyway, I cut them off. I left enough of a tab there for a footrest up against, which was Pat's idea. She's a wonderful gal. Wonderful idea. When I told her I was going to do that, she said, leave a little bit there so your foot don't slide off. It's okay. What else did we do? We looked at this Mickey Mouse throttle attachment. Throttle cable attachment. The old C-clamp trick. Well, there was so much play in it that you had to stomp it all the way to the floor to get it to rev up. So I took all the play out of it and made a little fine-tuning adjustment right there. And now when you touch the pedal, it responds. However, that spring the spring was squeaky, 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 so I oiled it up. And as soon as I did that, it all slid off. The clamp slid off, the spring washer slid off. So I put it back together, and without really thinking too much about it, just put it on there. And a few minutes ago, after having done all that and all this other stuff, I decided to start it and try it. Well, I pulled the start rope, and I had that way too tight, boy. It took off, man. I grabbed onto these cage here, and it popped a wheelie, and it came over here and ran into it. I was chasing it. I don't know if you can see this, but the front tire was up in the air, and it hit right here at the garage door. I don't know if you can see that little damage. That's a wheelie right there, buddy. Oh, rubber. Got rubber on the old garage door. What else have we done? Checked the oil, of course. It needs changed. Put a little gas in it yesterday. Sure. Let's go for a ride. I'll try not to turn the camera off. Got a key on. Give her a tug. That's all I could do to get in here.